Yeah. DJ Disstory, Rufus Griswold. He wrote my obituary, called me a madman, a demon. He thought it would ruin my legacy. Do you know what it did to my book sales, Rufus? Let's talk about it. You tried to bury the name, you tried to close the door. Now they knocking at the chamber, crying nevermore. You wrote a hit piece, hoping I would fade away, but you just marketed the legend of the Edgar A. Yeah, you called me a fiend, said my mind was a mess. It's the greatest PR campaign in the literary press. I'm the king of the Gothic, the shadow on the floor, and you a footnote in my story, Rufus, nothing more. 1849 found me down in Baltimore. Clothes didn't fit, breathing heavy on the tavern floor. Passed away in the night, a tragic little scene. And you ran straight to the paper with the ink machine. Signed it, Ludwig, hiding like a little ghost. Wrote a brutal obituary for the Morning Post. Edgar Allan Poe is dead, few will be grieved. That's the biggest lie the public ever has received. You forged my letters, man, you went and faked the text, trying to convince the nation I was cursed and hexed. You painted me as a lunatic, addicted to the pain, a wandering alcoholic with a broken brain. You thought the high society would throw away my books. Instead they ran to the stores, throwing money and looks. You accidentally gave them what they didn't know they need, a tortured dark genius writing poetry to bleed the telltale heart. Man, the sales went through the roof because you gave them the aesthetic and you gave them the proof. I'm a marketing master without lifting the pen. You tried to end the career, but it was starting again. You tried to bury the name, you tried to close the door. Now they knocking at the chamber, crying nevermore. You wrote a hit piece, hoping I would fade away, but you just marketed the legend of the Edgar A. Yeah, you called me a fiend, said my mind was a mess. It's the greatest PR campaign in the literary press. I'm the king of the Gothic, the shadow on the floor, and you a footnote in my story, Rufus, nothing more. Let's talk about you, Rufus. What do you create? You just an anthologist compiling up the slate. You couldn't write a masterpiece, you couldn't spark a chill. You just editing the giants with a jealous little quill. I invented the detective story, birthed the whole genre. You just sitting in the shadows of my dark persona. You thought you had the power as the literary guard, but you made me the immortal of the graveyard. Every goth kid in the future dressing up in black. Yeah, they owe it all to Rufus for the sneak attack. So thank you for the slander, thank you for the hate. It takes a bitter little rival to make a writer great. I'm sitting in the afterlife watching you descend into the dustbin of history where the extras end. Nobody reads Griswold, nobody knows the name. You just the guy who accidentally built the egg to fame. I'm resting in peace with the ravens in the sky. The greatest horror stories, how your legacy died. Free promo. You gave me the dark aesthetic, and the public bought it all. Appreciate you, Rufus. Rest in peace to the haters.